Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's the Level 1 podcast here on DSPGaming. It is Tuesday, the 12th of September, 2023, and I welcome you all here for a full and fun day of gameplay. I hope everyone is doing well, and if not, I hope we can do something about that this morning. Let's turn that frown upside down with a super exciting podcast. Oh, yes, super exciting. Let me tell you guys something. There's no way you can contain your excitement for today. Your clothes are going to rip off. You ever seen The Incredible Hulk starring Lou Ferrigno? That television series where all of a sudden he grows, Bruce Banner grows, and he rips out of his clothes? That's what's going to happen with your excitement today on the show. There's no way you can contain your excitement. I mean it. So anyway, what's going on? Well, there's a few things going on. There's not too much. It's not a crazy day. Once again, this has been a very slow week for news in particular, or gaming news in general. I do have some stories to talk about today, one of which has nothing to do with gaming, and the other two do have to do with gaming, but they're not particularly interesting. What we will do is give you guys a little bit of an update on what's going on with my current playthroughs, because unexpectedly yesterday I finished a game, and I was like, oh, okay. No one seemed to be of the impression that I would have beaten Armored Core 6 yesterday, but we'll talk about that today. And then last night, the status of Street Fighter. I have the latest update of the statistics of how I'm doing with Street Fighter 6 and now using Lily in ranked gameplay. Are you going to jump up here, Jasper? Here he comes. And Jasper's here again, once again, to steal the limelight. Here he is. Don't you drink my seltzer. He sniffed my seltzer bottle. Don't you dare drink my seltzer. That is not acceptable behavior. So, and we got some chill fun today. You know, we got some good chill games today. After yesterday being action day, action-packed day, today is the polar opposite. Today is chill RPG day. And we might even finish up another game today, depending. I mean, it would be great if we did, because then we would have no lingering playthroughs for the coming week. You know, the coming week we've got a big Mortal Kombat 1 release, and then at the end of the week we got Lies of P. So we basically have 2 new games coming out within the next week and a half, so it would obviously make sense to have time for those. So let's talk about all of that, shall we? Who is P? Pinocchio, of course. The lies of Pinocchio. He's a big liar. That's why his nose grows. Did you know that? You didn't know that? You don't know the story of Pinocchio? Wow. It's amazing. You didn't know that anyone in life who has a giant nose is a liar? Yeah, it's true. That's why their noses are so big, because they're just constantly lying. There you go. Anyway. So what's everyone doing? Are you having a good day? Well, let's talk about how yesterday went. If you weren't here and you missed out on the streams yesterday, here's a little update for you. So first off, we started off with Armored Core 6 yesterday. The weird part about it was, I would say we were halfway through Chapter 4, and the game has 5 chapters in its story. And a lot of people who knew the game were definitely under the impression that I was going to have problems. Some people had said that the boss of Chapter 4 was incredibly difficult. Some people said that the final missions, like of Chapter 5, were actually lengthy and very challenging and took people a lot of tries to beat. So based off of that, no one really surmised that I was going to beat Armored Core 6 yesterday, okay? So when I started up yesterday, a few missions going on, and there was another one of these. You had to make a choice, a critical story choice of who you wanted to attack. And so I decided to attack, I want to say it was it Vesper, the leaders of Vesper or whatever? So it was a 2v1. Well, I would say 2v1, but it wasn't, because you ended up having a teammate for it. So it was really a 2v2 AC fight. But what it is my build at the end of the game here. As I played Armored Core 6, here's how I approached it. Every time something new unlocks, I'm going to compare it to everything else that's available. I'm going to see if it adds anything to my build. And I'm going to see if there's like a new weapon type or a new way to maneuver around. I'm likely going to give it a shot to see if it benefits me. So over the course of Armored Core 6, I started off with just regular legs, like everyone else did, and 2 machine guns, and kind of like a missile launcher or something like that. Then I added a second missile launcher. Then I changed it out. Instead of a machine gun, I had a laser pistol. Then I changed one to more of a charged laser rifle, right? Then, as more things unlocked, I got the plasma gun, and that's what I used to beat Baltius back in Chapter 2. Then, when the minigun unlocked, I started using that. Then I went to dual miniguns. Then I changed out my shoulder launchers for plasma missile launchers. Then I changed them to heavy missile launchers called Songbirds. And then, as the story continued on and further, more things were unlocking. For example, a stun needle cannon at the end of Chapter 3 that is incredibly powerful, and it's a ton of stun or a ton of shield depletion if it hits the enemy directly. And then if it hits an enemy that's already weakened, it does a giant chunk of damage, right? So the moment that I got that cannon, I'm like, dude, I got to start using that. Then I kept swapping out other weapons because I couldn't keep everything equipped. So I had a regular kind of assault rifle instead of a minigun. Then I changed out my other shoulder cannon to be like a homing missile gun, which was nice. And then basically I changed out my legs multiple times to tetrapod, which is walking on 4 legs, but essentially it's a big hovering maneuver. And I did that for like a whole chapter, just hovering around, and the enemies had a hard time hitting me with splash damage. And then when it was made available to me, I got the better tank legs, which instead of being a slow tank, it's a really fast maneuverable tank. And that was awesome, because then for chapters 4 and 5, I was this ultra fast maneuverable tank zipping around, and the enemies had a hard time getting a lock on me. And I continued. I mean, I'm still going through all my builds right now. I continued to upgrade it. I kept the stun needle launcher, but then I changed it out yesterday to a big area of effect cluster bomb launcher. So basically, rather than being homing in and only attacking the enemy in one small spot, it would create this giant area of damage, and if the enemy was in it and was stunned, they would take an insane amount of damage. And then finally, after upgrading my head and my body and my arms, I was able to finally carry 2 more miniguns. I was like, all right, here's my final form, right? 2 miniguns, this cluster bomb launcher, this stun needle cannon, and the zippy fast tank treads, okay? So just think about everything I just said. That would took me like, 2-3 minutes to go through it all? That's a lot of builds. And it seems like that's how they intend for you to play the game. If you're constantly changing your build and adapting to better parts and things like that, then the game isn't that hard. The only reason I could see, Armored Core 6 being super difficult is if you're the kind of person who says, I just want to use this one build the whole game. Then you're really going to be challenging yourself. And this is what people do in Soulsborne challenge runs. I just want to do the Deprived run. I want to do the Magic run. I want to do the Level 1 run. I want to do this and that. Yeah, if you stick yourself to that one thing and you don't adapt, you're going to have a lot of issues. It's going to be very challenging. So, for me, it was pretty fun. Like, I didn't really have issues playing Armored Core 6, while it seems like a lot of people did. A lot of people have said, man, there were these roadblocks for them. Now, there was one key factor that's different from my playthrough and someone playing this offline. I have an audience. And I'll be honest, when I was approaching Baltius, some people gave me advice. Like they said, I'm not going to tell you why, but you're going to want to get a plasma gun. Okay, so I did, and come to find out, Baltius had a plasma shield, and the plasma gun negated the shield, and it allowed me to beat Baltius after about an hour of practice. So there you go. But it wasn't like that was the case the whole playthrough. Admittedly, after that happened, some people were upset, and they said, well, that's it, no more tips for Phil. So people stopped giving me these outright tips, and then I just kept playing and winning. You know, like honestly, the only things that I died to were like if I got to the very end of a stage and there was a boss fight, but I'd already used all my healing, so then it just loaded the checkpoint, and no problems. You know, so admittedly, I really don't get it. I don't know why people thought the game was so hard. I don't think it was that hard at all. Again, if you've played Soulsborne games, those are way harder than this game because they don't have checkpoints, right? This game has checkpoints and good loading and everything. So I'm at a loss. But I'm sure some people will now say, oh, it's because you cheated and you looked this up and your hand was held. When none of that happened, they'll just make excuses. You know, I don't know. Like Armored Core 6 for me, I liked it a lot. It's the first mech combat game I've played since Hawken over a decade ago. Or I guess you could argue since the Transformers War for Cybertron games. Remember there was the Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron. It was like a trilogy of games. Since then, I haven't played any mech combat. And I actually really enjoyed Armored Core 6. The only shortcoming, in my opinion, is the world is pretty empty. But outside of that, you know, it was well done. And I understand why people like the series. I totally understand why people would do multiple runs. Because once you beat it, now you're a New Game Plus, right? And everyone says, yeah, there's new stages. They're challenging. You get new endings and stuff. I get it. I get it why you would want to do 2 or 3 runs in the game to see all the content and maybe do different builds. Yeah. So I enjoyed it. So if you like Armored Core 6, I agree with you. And I was someone who had never played one of these before. And I'm actually a new fan now. And when they make Armored Core 7, I'd be all over playing that one too because I really liked this one. But again, I think what it is people go into this with negative, toxic expectations. Oh, because it's made by From Software, if Darkside Phil plays it, he's going to suck at it. He's going to die 5 zillion times. He's going to rage. And it didn't happen, you know. Baltius was the closest, and even after fighting him for an hour and I beat him, I'm like, all right. You know, did I get frustrated during the fight? Of course I did, just like you do in the heat of anything when you're full of adrenaline. But when I beat him, I felt accomplished. I'm like, all right, on to the next. And then there really were no other challenges. I heard that there were supposed to be other things that were very challenging in the game, but not for me for whatever reason. You can argue, oh, the game got patched or whatever. Fine, that's fine if you want to say that. But for me, you know, it was a fun game. Nowhere near as challenging as anything from the Soulsborne universe. Seriously. Like, Elden Ring, way tougher. Any Dark Souls game, way tougher. Demon Souls, way tougher. Bloodborne, way tougher. So, you know, there you have it. So, give it a look. If you're looking for mech combat, it's pretty fun. What I've heard is that a lot of people watched my playthrough and copied my build to beat the game because they were having problems. I've gotten comments on the videos and stuff. Yeah, I tried using your build and oh my god, it's so good. So now I'm excelling in the game too. Maybe I got lucky, but I just picked the parts that looked the best to me. You know what I mean? Like at the end there was a new part that essentially turned you into an infinite hovercraft. It said right on it, this is for infinite hovering. But I had already fought an enemy that was an infinite hovercraft in arena, and it wasn't that good. So I kind of knew by doing all the arena missions that wasn't worth it, and I didn't do it, and I stayed with my tank treads, and, you know, it was perfect till the end. So that's what I mean. Like, I feel like if you do all the content available to you in the game, and you kind of experiment around a little bit, you're going to see the best. You're going to figure out the best stuff. And it's not going to be as tough as someone who, again, is just very stubborn and wants to stick to one build, which definitely would not work in that game, in my opinion, unless you're trying to ultra challenge yourself. So anyway, thanks for watching. It was only 14 hours long. Yes, my playthrough of Armored Core 6, 14 hours. Most people told me the game was at least 20 hours long. I don't know. I guess I turboed through all the problems. Like everyone said the Sea Spider boss was tough. I beat it on the second try. Everyone said, well, there was another one in between there. And then there was, I guess, the final boss of Chapter 4, Ibis. And then I guess at the end of the game too. And none of that really challenged me. Honestly. I just zoop right through it. So maybe it would have been longer if I had problems there, but I don't know. And again, maybe it just clicked with me too. Because I've played mech combat games before, but never one this fast-paced. Like the Transformers games were never this fast-paced. And neither was Hawken. So maybe that's what it was. It was a fast-paced mech game. It was just my style, and I did well at it. I don't know. But there you have it. Can't really explain it, guys, but hope you enjoyed it. It was a quick playthrough, but it was a fun one for me. Okay? All right. Now, will I ever go back to the game? Let's be honest. Does people really want to see me replay the entire game, New Game Plus, with a few new missions and a new ending? You know, It's in the future, if people demanded it, I would say, yeah, I'm not against it. At the same time, with all the new games coming out, there's no way I'm doing that right now. It's good to get the game done and move on to all the new stuff coming out. So, okay. On the late stream last night, it was Street Fighter 6, and we're continuing on with Lily in ranked gameplay. Now, here's the thing. Lily is one of the worst characters in the game. Some people say she absolutely is the worst character in Street Fighter 6. Why is that? Is it because she doesn't do enough damage? No. Is it because she's too slow? No. It's basically because she doesn't have tools like the rest of the cast does. So, for example, most of the cast members have a move that's invincible in some way or has invincibility frames. So if they're getting rushed down, they can blow out of it with like a wake-up reversal. She doesn't have that. What she has is a move that rises up into the air. I think they call it like Thunder Hawk or something. I don't even know what it's called, but it's a rising move. It's supposed to be like an anti-air, but it doesn't hit on the ground properly. It gets stuffed. So if someone's in her face and completely like locking her down with hit strings, you got to guess. You either have to try to get a perfect parry, or you got to try to get, okay, how do I blow through this with like a reversal level 1 super or something like that? Those aren't good options. I'm being honest, they're not. They're not good options. You want to have something that's more foolproof. She doesn't have it. Okay? In addition, she is incredibly reliant on having her wind charge. If she has her wind charge, then some of her special moves have added properties that make them much better and safe on block. Without the wind charge, she's pretty bad. She only has a couple normals that are even worth using. So, essentially, you're using a character who only has 2 or 3 buttons that are usable and only is usable when you have a wind charge. So, that's a big, big problem. Okay? So, when I played with her on Friday, I did my placement matches, placed in Diamond, and everyone in low Diamond didn't know what the hell they were doing, and I spanked them for like an hour and a half straight and went straight from Diamond 1 to Diamond 2. No problem, really. It was just like a big whooping, okay? Last night, as I started fighting people who were around the Diamond 3 level, things definitely changed. What ended up happening was people stopped falling for the throw setups. People knew about how safe her certain things were when she had wind charge, and essentially they would gamble. So for example, I'm going to throw out a random drive impact, and if I really blow it here and it gets blocked or counter hit, but if it hits, it's going to blow through what Lily's moves are, and I'm going to get a giant combo. And so they would just do these high-risk moves, but they would pay off a ton. And I feel like that really, much like with Dalsim as well, that's one of Lily's big shortcomings, is that she doesn't really have much of a counter to people doing those high-risk moves because she doesn't have great moves. So even if someone whiffs, it's hard to punish them on a whiffed move because she's just not fast enough, or her moves don't have enough reach, or her moves aren't good enough. And then, God forbid, if she gets locked down in a corner, it's basically game over for her. Okay? So what ended up happening last night was I was struggling because not only am I using arguably one of, if not the worst character in the game against people basically mashing, patterns online, but then they're just doing crazy Hail Marys and things, and they're blowing through everything I do, even though in reality, they're not good strategies. They're good strategies against her, you see? And so I'm trying to adapt and trying to do better. And I did have some really good matches. There was some really high damage combos and things I did there. It wasn't like I was sucking or anything, but it's just a really tough uphill climb with Lily. It's probably about the same as it would be with Zangief, where she just doesn't have the tools of everybody else. She doesn't even have a good drive rush move at all. Like, she drive rushes in, you either do down fierce or back fierce. That's it. It's not even worth pushing another button when you drive rush. And if it hits, you can maybe get a 2-in-1 into her wind charge move, or half the time it's too slow, and then they can just mash through it. There was a situation, listen to this. I did a full punish wall bounce against a Ryu. So he's stunned completely. I get a free combo. So I do neutral jump roundhouse, back fierce, I combo into my wind charge move, that's a 3-hit combo, and you can 2-in-1 right into the level 3 super. As I'm doing the wind charge move, because I'm playing online, the game decides, it's too slow, and the Ryu was just mashing constantly, and somehow it claims that my 3-hit combo was too slow, and he got a level 3 super, and it blew through my third move of the combo and won him the match. So I want you to think about this. He's completely stunned. It's a 3-hit simpletons combo. And because I'm playing online, the game reads the inputs wrong. Claims I'm doing a simple 3-hit combo with the incorrect timing. Complete bullshit. He's mashing angrily to try to get a level 3 super, and he gets it. It just gives it to him. That's what I mean. Like, there's so many advantages for certain characters, while other characters are, she's at a humongous disadvantage, this character. She just really is. It's just really sad. But I like the character. And the truth is, I am doing good with her. For example, last night was not a great stream of me dominating. But overall, I did actually win more than I lost. Here's the stats from last night, okay? It might not have seemed like it, because I wasn't really going on win streaks. But last night, with Lily, I started at Diamond 2. I ended at Diamond 2, but only like maybe 2 sets away from hitting Diamond 3. 37 wins, 31 losses, 54% win-loss ratio. Still in the positive. And it still keeps me at 61% win rate overall in the game. 2,722 wins, 1,754 losses. So I got 1,000 more wins than losses now, basically. Sounds good to me. So, yeah, you know, it's rough. And I feel like continuing on with Lily, it absolutely will be rough going. It's going to be harder than any of the characters so far that I've played in ranked, because she just doesn't have the advantages of other characters. She has to either get lucky or lock them down in that pattern and they don't know how to get out of it, or they don't get lucky with a lucky reversal or mashing a move, or there's another key factor. I mean this too, seriously, with Lily. If you miss one move, if you miss one combo, one messed up input, she basically loses the round, because she needs to maintain that momentum to keep her win charge. If she finds herself mid-round without a win charge, the game is over. Because if you don't have it, you don't have the tools to stop anyone. They will rush you down, and you cannot stop them. You don't have the tool to stop the rush down from mid-screen. Unless you have win charge, you can't do Condor Rush. It's worthless. So that's the problem. And it's a big problem. Because as I'm playing, you know, I do get dropped inputs. I'm in the middle of combos, the move won't come out. Like, what the hell just happened? And then I lose the whole match. It's like, dude, that's absolutely ridiculous, you know? So far, still climbing with Lily. There will be more Lily Wednesday night. So if you're interested in seeing Lily climb the ranks, and I'm definitely going to hit 3-star Diamond on Wednesday, for sure. I don't know how much further than that I'll get, but there's no way I'm not. I'm only, like I said, 2 or 3 sets of wins, like maybe 6 wins away from getting to 3-star Diamond. I'm definitely hitting that Wednesday night, okay? The real challenge will be getting her to Master. I think it's going to be abysmally hard to get her to Master. I really feel that way, but we'll see. We'll see how Wednesday goes, okay? So overall, yesterday was a great day full of action. I certainly did not expect to be Armor Core 6, but I'm happy I did, because that's another game done before all the new releases coming out this week. And I had decent progress with Lily, although not as easygoing as Blanca or Honda by any means, because, man, it is tough to play with that character with ranked, okay? Cool. All right, so what are we doing today? What is going on today? Today is not action day. Today is the opposite. Today is chill RPG day, meaning today we've got 2 RPGs on the docket, one of which is brand new, one of which is very old, and I'm excited to play both with you. All right, so the first stream today is the continuation of Starfield. All right, now, I'll be honest again with everyone here. When I played Starfield on Sunday night, I basically didn't have a very good stream, and here's what I mean. It wasn't the game wasn't good. The game was good. We actually traveled to multiple new locations. We went to a new city called Neon. We were doing all this fun questing. Basically all in line with what Bethesda does best, okay? But for some reason, on Sunday night, the Starfield stream was completely disengaged. Now, what does that mean? It means I had an audience, but literally the audience stopped paying attention to the game. Every piece of conversation was anything but the game. No one was paying attention, and no one was even talking to me. That's not good. The whole point of me streaming is that we have a fun social experience while I'm playing a game. So it could be about the game, but it could be about other stuff, as long as we're having a good time. That's what it's all about. Now, the funny part about this is I'm hearing some of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Sorry, Gaz, because you just said it in the chat, and I have to bring it up. He goes, Starfield is good to play, but not awful to watch. It's literally the same as all other Bethesda open world RPGs. It's the same as Fallout. It's the same as Elder Scrolls. Every year, you guys beg me to play a long-form Bethesda game. We've done it 3 years in a row now with Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim, and then Oblivion. This game is definitely on par with those games. If not, by the end of the game, it might even be better. So how can you argue it's boring or not fun to watch when you beg me to play the other games that are exactly the same? The argument is flawed. It's bullshit. All right? It is. It's bullshit. Here's what it is. People want to cause these situations where, oh, because it's new, it sucks. And I'm tired of it. Okay? The game has a lot of shortcomings. Starfield absolutely does. I feel like the shipbuilding is shit. I feel like the space combat is bad. And the game's graphics are ridiculously bad. Why on earth are we playing a game in 2023 that looks like it could have been running on the Xbox 360? It's stupid. There's definitely things in this game that are definitely screaming for improvement. And you could tell the game is unpolished yet again. Another Bethesda RPG unpolished at launch. What a shocking twist, right? Like this has never happened before. But overall, the game has charm. The game has an interesting plot. The game has a lot of cool missions, right? As we're playing further in, it actually is getting more interesting. I'm interested in what's going to happen with this Constellation plot. What will happen as we continue to do missions for the Freestar Collective. And now we're in Neon, a whole new city with its whole new plot line. Like, this is cool stuff, right? So, what exactly is the criticism here that the game is awful to watch? If you like Bethesda games, then you like Starfield. It's that simple. It's what I've been saying all along. If you're a fan of Bethesda RPGs, you'll like it. By the way, I have an audience of people who like Bethesda RPGs, or else you guys wouldn't have asked me for Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim, and then Oblivion 3 years in a row. So enough is enough with the bullshit. I'm not listening to the nonsense from idiots who just want to say everything sucks because it's new. A lot of people come to my streams and literally say every single game, new game sucks. Oh my god, Street Fighter 6 sucks. Oh my god, fucking Armored Core sucks. Oh, Starfield sucks. It sucks. If you think every game sucks, just leave. I was going to say it right now. If you think every game sucks, do not come back. I don't want people here to just sit here and shit on games. That's not the point of my streams. This is supposed to be us having fun with games. Do you understand? And I like Starfield. I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying it because it follows that formula of games that are open world. Everywhere you go, there's a new branching path that leads somewhere else. You go to a new city, and all of a sudden you feel 10 new quests fall on your lap, and there's more interesting stuff, and there's more lore, and there's more to do. That's what this game is excelling at. If you are a graphics hound, you're not going to like Starfield. That's fine, but don't sit here and crap on the game. I'm at a loss, really at a loss, as to why people would sit here and say Starfield sucks, but then like all the other Elder Scrolls games and all the other Fallout games. It's just, it's not fair. It's bullshit. It's called you're trying to jump on a hate bandwagon, okay? Just like people who say Starfield is an infallible, perfect game, best I've ever played 10 out of 10, they're jumping on a hype bandwagon. I'm not on either wagon. I'm off the wagon. Oh, no. Phil's off both wagons, all right? I'm in the middle, and I'm trying to be honest with you guys. I'm not loving it, and I'm not hating it. I think it's pretty good. I want to get further into it. I've heard that the further in you get, that the story actually gets significantly better, and that I should keep doing what I'm doing because I'm going to get to good parts coming up that are even better than what I'm doing right now. So why on earth are we going to sit here and crap on the game? Don't do that. And if you're someone who's impatient and you can't put up with a Bethesda RPG, then why are you here during the streams of the Bethesda RPG? I'm at a loss now. I really am. Because we knew what the game was from everything we saw. I don't know why anyone had different expectations. And for you to just sit here and crap on it, I'm not accepting it. That's not valid criticism. You want to criticize the game, give it valid criticism. Don't just say, oh, the game's boring, it sucks. Well, then fucking leave. Don't sit here and crap on something that's actually good to people who like that style of game. Okay, so, yeah, I was disappointed with how Sunday night went. Seriously, I don't understand why so many people were disengaged and literally leading the stream astray in another direction. Today, I'm going to try to take control of that. We're in Neon. We're going to keep doing missions in Neon. We have a major mission for the Freestar Collective, and we'll probably continue on with that plot line and keep going with other stuff. And sorry, but I'm hoping, really I'm hoping, that people will engage and be a part of the stream and not sit here and start unrelated topics. I don't want to see people talking about fucking football. No one fucking cares about football on my streams. It's a gaming stream. It's not a sports stream. You want to talk about sports, go to a sports stream. That's not me. I don't want people derailing with nonsense like that. People know that too. It's not a new rule. It's always been like that, but people come in here and they try to fucking derail shit. And then you want, gee, why is no one talking about the game? All right? So I'm not doing that. I'm not allowing that today. Okay? Okay. So let's have a good, enjoyable stream of Starfield today. All right? Let's engage. Let's have a good time. Hopefully you'll support the stream if you're enjoying it, and we'll have a good one. All right? Now tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, it's the continuation and probable conclusion of Chrono Trigger. Okay? Why do I say probable conclusion? If we were just doing the end of the game, we'd beat it tonight. But we're in the middle of this Lost Sanctum side content plotline. And this was added in the game when the game became a Nintendo DS port in the 2000s. It's not very good, I'm being honest here. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt. You're running in circles, going through the same map things over and over, having to fight the same repetitive enemies. I just finished an epic boss fight, but I honestly don't remember where to go next. Like, I have no recollection of where I'm supposed to go next for it. So there's one room that's dark, you can't see anything, but I don't think I have anything I can use to see in there, so I don't know what to do there. There's also someone who claimed they were building a bridge, but I don't know where the bridge is. So I'm basically in two situations where, like, there's two things that I need to do, but I don't know what to do in the Lost Sanctum. So if anyone knows, you want to join me tonight on the late stream and help me out so we can finish this Lost Sanctum plot and get to the end of the game, I'd appreciate it, because I would actually like to finish Chrono Trigger tonight, so that way it's done and we can say we're moving on to full new stuff starting this Friday. All right? It's been an epic playthrough. It's been a great time. I really enjoyed my stay in Chrono Trigger. I love the game. One of my favorite RPGs of all time. And we'll see if we can wrap it up tonight. Okay? All right. Then tomorrow, it's going to be more Starfield, because I already beat Armored Core, so that's the daytime stream. And then tomorrow night's late stream will be more Street Fighter 6 with Lily ranked, seeing if I can do better than I did last night and get her to 3-star diamond and beyond. Thursday is my day off this week. Friday is the big day. Mortal Friday. Because Friday, all day long, I'll be playing Mortal Kombat 1. We'll be starting with the story on the first stream. And then on the late stream, depending on what you guys want, we could either do more story, or we could check out this new mode, which is called Conquest Mode. I don't know much about it, but it seems to be the other featured mode that everyone will be playing offline, so we could do either, okay? Then on Saturday, the daytime stream will be more Mortal Kombat 1 story, and then probably that night, we'll do some Starfield, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of balance everything moving forward for that week. It'll be a balance between Mortal Kombat and Starfield. My goal is to beat the Mortal Kombat story over the weekend, because if you're not aware, on Tuesday, the 19th, is the release of Lies of P. And I know people are going to want to see me try Lies of P. So hopefully we can wrap up the story of Mortal Kombat 1, by like Monday, and the Monday, Tuesday, and then Tuesday we can start Lies of P. Okay? We'll see. The story supposedly is 8 hours long. So you figure if I do 2 to 3 streams, or I should say, if I do 3 daytime streams, or maybe like 2 day streams and a night stream, I should probably be able to wrap up the story. Is it called Invasion, not Conquest? I don't know where I got the names confused. Where did I heard Conquest from? All right, so it's called Invasion, not Conquest. Got it. So there you go. Yeah, let's see what happens with that. And will I check out? Will I be checking out Invasion, or would you guys want me to just keep going right through the story? We'll see how it goes on the weekend. Okay. Now, will I be playing Mortal Kombat 1 online? Eventually, yes. But let's get through the story first. Let's check out the single player content first, and then maybe we'll take it online. All right. Will there be any Street Fighter 6 next week? That I can't answer. I don't know. There may be, there may not be. It depends on how Mortal Kombat goes, but I guarantee you people would prefer Mortal Kombat 1 over Street Fighter 6 next week. So there you go. Okay? Anyway, so this will be a fun weekend. Balance Mortal Kombat 1 premiering, Starfield Fun, the React Show on Sunday, and then Lies of P on Tuesday. A good balance of new release content this coming week. Okay? No special event this month. We've already decided against it, so that way I could focus, solely on new game releases, and we don't get too backlogged on them, so I'm okay with that. However, for the month of October, I'm looking for some suggestions for movies to watch, because I would like to watch some horror movies in October and review them. We're also probably going to do a special tier maker countdown in October, rating horror movie franchises against each other. That'll be some fun stuff to do for Halloween month next month. I'll also have some Halloween decorations. There's also going to be a Halloween marathon event. So first week of October, you guys are going to be able to start nominating games for me to play during the Halloween event. It's going to be pretty fun, okay? Cool. All right. I think that covers all the schedule stuff and all the housekeeping stuff that I needed to talk about. I do want to apologize because a couple days ago on Sunday, I wasn't feeling well. My allergies were really bad. I had disgusting post-nasal drip all day. My throat was swelled up and gunked up. I sounded horrible. I know that. Because of that, I forgot to do stuff. I forgot to post up the threads by which people on DSP Reacts can nominate clips for next week's React show. And I even forgot to make that stream archived for members so members could watch it in its entirety. It's completely my fault. And last night, a couple people called me out on it. They were like, dude, why didn't you do it yet? I'm like, you're absolutely right. I felt like shit, and I kind of was in a rush to get out of here, and I forgot to do the stuff that I usually do on Sunday night. So as of overnight here, everything should be fine. The threads are now up. If you're a member over on DSP Reacts, you can nominate clips for next week's DSP versus the Internet. And that stream from Sunday is now a members-only stream. If you're a member over there, you can watch it in its entirety without having to wait for the videos to go live slowly over the week. And as of this morning, also, I added the thumbnails to the videos coming out this week on the channel. So basically, I did all this stuff. And again, apologies. I just didn't feel good, and it kind of made me forget to do a lot of stuff. Okay? Okay, so real fast before we get to news, because there's 3 news stories I'd like to talk about today. I would like to say thank you for all of your support and remind everyone out there that if you like the content here on DSP Gaming or the React content over on DSP Reacts, that I am a crowd-funded individual. What does that mean? It means I am not making significant amounts of money from having videos on demand on YouTube. I don't have any product placements. I don't have any sponsorships or partnerships. I do not run advertisements often during my live streams, maybe once actively during an entire stream. Basically, over the years, what has happened is I have started to become a type of content creator who caters my content to my audience. I curate it for a specific group of people who are looking for someone who isn't a shill, who isn't sitting here with an agenda. I don't benefit by saying a game is good or bad because it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get paid to say it either way. I'm not going to get clickbait views because I said something, all right? My content is for a group of people who trust me and want honesty and transparency when it comes to what I say on my content. So because of that, because I'm not a shill like a lot of other YouTubers have become, I mean, how many YouTubers you see, paid advertisement, playing this game as a special promotion, blah, blah, blah. It's constant. It's rampant all over YouTube. I've avoided that formula because of you. Because you guys like the content I put out so much that you support it. And I really, really appreciate the fact that you guys go out of your way to support this style of content. I want to stay true to myself. For 15 years, I've been able to. So I would hope that we can keep that rolling, all right? So if you like this kind of content, all right? And if you like the fact that I'm transparent and you like the fact there's not rampant ads all over my stuff every day, please consider contributing in one of the following methods. Number 1, engagement, meaning liking the content you're watching. Maybe it's my stream, maybe it's an on-demand video. Likes help a lot. Number 2, speaking and interacting. On a stream, engagement and talking with me is key to success. On an on-demand video, leaving comments on the video. Even something just saying, hey, I really like the video, just want to help you out. That comment helps. It doesn't even have to be pertinent to the content. You just leave a positive comment on there. Boom, it helps. It does, okay? Now, if you want to go above and beyond just engagement, there's many ways that you can support my content. You can do a super chat or a super sticker during a live stream. You could do a super thanks on a YouTube video after the fact, and all of these are great. I always go out of my way to shout these out and give thanks to the people who do them. You can become a member, or you can gift a membership to the community. Members get so many benefits, including emotes, a chat crown badge, highlighted comments on videos, not having to abide by slow mode rules in stream chat, getting priority for special events. For example, coming up this October event, the Halloween event, the channel members will get priority to nominate games for the event, and channel members themselves will probably get 1 or 2 games into the event, while everyone else will be vying for position. The members will get a couple games in, just among them. So it's a great thing to have. It's a great way to be part of the community, and you know, everyone who gets it usually loves it. You can even get gifted memberships if you type in !gift in the chat. A link will pop up. Click on there, make yourself eligible. If you're thinking of being generous, maybe you'd like to help out the entire community, It's a great way to do it. Drop a membership bomb. People are very appreciative, especially this time of year when we got all these new games. We got Mortal Kombat and Lies of P coming out next week. People will be very excited to have those memberships right now. Okay, so there you go. Cool. Thank you for that. Now, another way to help is tipping. Tipping is a direct contribution, essentially through PayPal. That helps a lot. It really does. Thanks to anyone who does that, because that is a way to contribute that directly helps me right now. Tips I get immediately. Everything else is great, but it helps me long term. There's processing time. Tips are something that I can do something with right away. So, I got to buy Mortal Kombat in the next couple of days. And then I got bills to pay. I got groceries to shop for. I got all this stuff going on. And tips help with that a lot. In addition, I actually get a larger percentage of tips than most other contribution methods. So, there you go. So thank you in advance to anyone who tips, and thank you to anyone who contributes in any way. Now, my goals for this week. Goal number 1 was to hit 600 members by the end of the week. We already did that. So, goal accomplished. Now, I guess my real goal for the week then is to hold above 600 members by the end of the week. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean at any given time, memberships can expire. And typically what ends up happening is every once in a while you get like a membership bomb from last month and that expires and the members drop. I'm happy we're above 600. I just hope we can maintain that for the end of the week. So any memberships today would be greatly appreciated. Now my other goal for the week is to hit at least 1 tips goal a day. I do 2 streams in one day. So as long as I hit that tier 1 tips goal once a day, I'm happy. And by the way, we've done that every day this week so far. So thank you to everyone who's been supporting my content. I really, really appreciate that. Great week so far when it comes to what I'm putting out, when it comes to support, when it comes to everything. All right, the only disappointment I had this week was that disengaged stream of Starfield on Sunday night. But outside of that, everything else I've loved. So let's keep that momentum going, and hopefully we'll have a better stream of Starfield today. And thank you in advance to everyone who supports my stuff. Okay, let us now jump into a little bit of news, shall we? Okay. So, hold on. I'm getting it opened here. So, our first news story of the day. So we have a couple of interesting anniversaries and things to talk about before we get to actual, news. First, did you know today is officially... Oh, wait a minute. It's time for my favorite segment. Your favorite segment. Everyone's favorite segment. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for DSP News. I can't believe I almost forgot. Can you imagine? I almost forgot. Now, hold on a second, because the news is over there at the news desk. I have to get the news hot off the presses. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. It's white hot again, man. I gotta be careful. I don't singe my skin. All right? Here we are. DSP News. Our first news story. Are you aware today is the 20th anniversary of Steam? That is correct. Today is the 20-year anniversary of Steam. 20 years ago, Steam was very different. And if you'd like a little glimpse into that, Steam actually changed their page to look like it did 20 years ago. If you go give it a look, it's completely different looking than what it is today. Before it was an app, before it became streamlined and all of that, it was essentially a web page through which you could kind of buy games and get game news and stuff like that. And Steam is running some exclusive sales right now. Being that I'm not a big PC gamer, I'm not really looking at it. It's funny because I do have a mini PC. So maybe I could run some of the games that are on sale. But I'm not really too crazy interested in it, only because I'm not really a lifelong PC gamer. I was at one point. I was playing PC games, but I've become a console gamer ever since I became a YouTuber. But it's worth a look. Now, the other important piece of news here, this is hot off the presses right here. It has been announced that Gabe Newell was thinking about making a new video game, but he accidentally rolled into his other large pile of money and became permanently affixed to it, and he can't get up, so he can't make any more games. So it is what it is. Steam has been so profitable for these guys in the last 20 years, they have no desire to make games. They keep saying they're going to. Have you seen one yet? I think it's a shame because, you know, I love the games that Valve was putting out. You know what I mean? Like, all their games. I mean, what was it? Team Fortress, 2, the Portal games, right? Half-Life. Shit, all those games were amazing. Were they not? They were all outstanding. But it just seems like they just don't care about games anymore. And it is kind of funny because every once in a while someone brings up Game Duel and I'm like, why would you even bring him up? How is he pertinent to gaming anymore? He literally hasn't made games in ages. How could you even take anything he says as anything in form? He just sits there and distributes games and makes millions of dollars a second. So why would you listen to him as any kind of an authority on video games? He's been out of touch for like 15, 20 years, right? Like, I get it. At one point, he was absolutely at the height of game development, and he would have been one of the most appropriate people to ask on anything gaming. I wouldn't ask him about games anymore. I really wouldn't. Like, dude, you don't know shit. You just sit around rolling in money. What do you do all day? You're not making games. So, anyway, what are you going to do? But anyway, happy 20 years to Steam, I guess. See, I think a lot of people have mixed feelings about Steam. Some people absolutely love it, and some people hate it. So, for me, I've always kind of been neutral. I don't really have any issues with Steam. I guess a lot of people have over the years. That's why there's all these third-party alternatives and everything, but it is what it is. Again, I'm not really much of a PC gamer in the last 15 years, so I guess I wouldn't be in the know about those topics, right? Okay. Also, in the United States, today is National Video Game Day. So congratulations to all of us gamers out there. Take some time today to play a video game. Whether it's your favorite game or a game you hate, whether it's a full-fledged video game on console, a PC game, a mobile game, or maybe you're playing a Tiger Electronic handheld game. Remember those? Maybe you're playing the wristwatch games. Remember those? I had one of those. I can't remember which one it was, but I had a wristwatch game at one point. I got it for Christmas from my great aunt. Whatever you play, enjoy the video game you play today. If you live in the United States. If you're not in the United States, you are not allowed to enjoy video games today. So if you live in Canada or Mexico or Europe, you are not allowed to boot up any video games at all. So don't even think about it. That's a big no-no, and I'll be watching you today. Okay? All right, very nice. Continuing on. Our third news story for today. First of all, how many of you know about the video game called X-Defiant? Have any of you heard of this? I actually have, so I'll raise my hand, but only in like a cursory way. It's kind of funny the way that I know about X-Defiant. So, some people are like, I don't know, right? So what is X-Defiant? X-Defiant is a free-to-play FPS game by Ubisoft. You know, Ubisoft, who are well-renowned for their FPS games. I mean, outside of like Rainbow Six Siege, I couldn't even... Actually, is that Ubisoft? Is Rainbow Six Ubisoft? Now I'm wondering if it is. Am I right or wrong there? It is? Okay. I thought I had it confused for a second, but it is. People are confirming it is. Okay. So outside of Rainbow Six Siege, can you even think of another franchise that Ubisoft has done that's like a successful first-person shooter? I guess you could argue like the Far Cry series, but this is supposed to be like an online competitive game. So the only reason I know about X-Defiant is because earlier this year, they did a, how can I say? Basically what it was a paid shills beta. What does that mean? It means essentially people got access to this X-Defiant beta who were content creators, and they were paid to play it. All right? So, of course, literally, every fucking content creator said it was good. Literally every one. There wasn't a single one who said, oh, this game kind of isn't that good. Or so. They were all, oh, yeah, it's the best game ever. It's the best game ever. Right? Why? Because they were paid to fucking say that. They're all getting paid to play the beta. Of course they're going to say it's a good game. Right? I think it was one of those situations where if you watch their stream, then they would give out keys. So systematically, more people got to play this beta while the content creators were giving out the keys during the streams. But it only lasted, I want to say, what was it, like 2 different sessions they did of it or something like that. And then it kind of disappeared. So people were like, well, gee, I wonder what happened to this game. You know, wasn't it supposed to come out this fall or whatever? And the answer is yes, it actually was supposed to come out in October. But here's what happened. Did you hear this news? Both Microsoft and Sony have denied Ubisoft the ability to distribute the game on their online stores. They have both denied the game console certification based on the fact that the game is so bad and buggy that they don't want to sell it. Now, it's free to play, but they don't want to list it on their stores because it's a piece of shit. So I just want you to think about this, okay? All right? I just want you to think about this, all right? For a second. They put out 2 or 3 paid shill betas. Every person playing the game during the betas said the game was great. Said it was amazing. You should play it. It's really good. But then when it actually got into the hands of real people who are not paid shills, i.e. Microsoft and Sony, they said this game is so bad, we don't want it on our marketplaces. So I wonder who's telling the truth, right? And I just don't understand why people continue to listen to these paid shills. Why on earth would you even watch their streams? If you know the vast majority of stuff they're doing is this kind of shit, why would you ever give a shit about them? Why do people continue to watch and support those people? They're only in it to make a buck. They'll tell you that this is the absolute best cloth you'll ever own in your life. By the way, this cloth is $40, right? And you'll buy it because you're gullible. Why would you do that? Why would you support that shit? I just don't get it, you know? Here's outright evidence. The game is dog shit. Sony and Microsoft refused to distribute it on their networks. But then everyone who told you it was good back then, why would you, you know what I'm saying? Why would you even give it the time of day anymore? Be like, well, fuck you. You lied to us. I'm not watching it ever again. But people are just too stupid, man. I hate to say it. Just people are gullible. They support the wrong people. And this is why we're going to end up an entire internet of influencers instead of gamers. You will have, everyone's an influencer. Everyone's making the bag instead of making meaningful content that's truthful and honest and transparent. You see? So, right now, the actual fate of X-Defiant is completely up in the air. The game was supposed to release in October, but considering the fact that there's, 2 weeks left? How on earth is Ubisoft going to retool their entire game to not be a buggy mess, to be able to be certified and released? It sounds like it's not going to get released. It sounds like it's going to be delayed. And right now, at one point, indefinitely delayed, right? Like, who the hell's going to buy this game when outright Microsoft and Sony are saying, nah, it's a broken mess, we don't want to sell it, right? That's pretty bad. So, wow. I mean, can you tell me the last time that happened? I think the last time that happened was Cyberpunk 2077 when it got pulled from the digital stores for being full of junk and buggy, right? So, it's been years. Okay. Our last news story for today is something completely different. It has absolutely, positively nothing to do with video games. But you guys might be interested in it regardless. Ladies and gentlemen, it was announced. All right, you ready for this? There's going to be a huge change to one of the biggest food franchises in the world starting in 2025. And some have already begun the change. Are you ready for this? Can you guess what it is? Can you guess what it will be? A ginormous food franchise is going to change hugely very soon. Are you ready? Here it is. I'm going to tell you. As of 2025, worldwide, McDonald's is going to do away completely with self-service soda machines. Yep. They are completely doing away with anything self-service at all. Okay? Basically, in an announcement to the Wall Street Journal, McDonald's said the following. You ready? Several factors are contributing to the decision to cut soda machines from the front of McDonald's restaurants. Food safety, which makes no sense. Did you ever hear of anyone getting poisoned and sick from a fucking soda machine? No. So that's bullshit. theft prevention. Now, that one I would say is huge, because I get the feeling what it is they think that people are coming and just literally stealing soda. They're just coming up and with any cup, zoop, and they take it, and they're not even customers. They just walk in, they grab a cup, zoop, and they walk right out, and they've got free soda. Now, the cups they keep behind the counter, that doesn't prevent you from just walking in with a cup and filling it up. What are you going to do? Fight the person at the soda machine, beat them up, and then go to jail? Do you think the employees of McDonald's care about someone walking in and stealing soda? What are they going to fucking care? It's not their $1 million, billion-dollar company. Why are they going to put their neck on the line for it, right? So I would almost guarantee you that there's people who, go in there and just take the soda or drinks and walk right out, and no one says a word, and there's nothing you can do about it. Especially in major cities, it's probably constant, I would bet. Like revolving door, people coming in, free drinks, get the fuck out. No one does anything about it, right? The third reason they cite is number of dine-in customers. Now that I don't get. What they do say in the article is basically during the time frame when COVID was going on, okay, there weren't as many dine-in customers, and now there's more dine-in customers. So I guess they're saying that the self-service machines can't keep up with demand. That doesn't make any sense. They had self-service machines way before COVID. Like, I remember all franchise. I remember Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, Duchess, everyone. Even Subway has them now. Almost all food stores, any sandwich shop you go to has the self-serve drink machine. So what exactly are they saying here? I don't even understand that with that reasoning. What it sounds to me is like food safety, that's bullshit. No one's getting sick off of soda machines. Number of customers, that's bullshit. What it sounds to me like is theft. They can't stop people from coming in and stealing the soda. So I guess what they want to do is they don't want people to freak out. So they said, now don't worry. It's not that we're no longer doing free refills. You could still get free refills of soda if you want. But to get it, you have to go up to the counter of McDonald's and request it. Now, I want you to think about this. Think about your local McDonald's. Okay, first of all, you may not realize this. A lot of McDonald's are automated now. You go in and there's a board. You order from the board, and your food just comes out. There's no one you even talk to at the counter. It's completely automated. So who are you going to walk up to and ask for soda? There's no one working the counter, right? And even if there were, McDonald's is busy. So now you're going to interrupt someone who's taking orders to demand more soda? And the answer is no. You want to know the truth? No one's going to get soda anymore. They're going to get the one soda with their meal. No one's going to get refills anymore. Okay? So, that's the deal. I get the feeling that what they're trying to do is save a buck by cutting out refills entirely. They're not going to deny them to customers, but they're going to make them so difficult to get that customers won't want to get the refill anymore because it's too much of a hassle to have to wait and stand. Imagine going back in line or having to cut a line. I just want a refill. And everyone in line's like, no, fuck you. There's 20 people in line trying to order food. You don't get to cut the line for your fucking refill of soda, you piece of shit. And the guy said, well, fuck you, motherfucker. And then they start fighting each other in the McDonald's. Next thing you know, everyone has their phones out. You got the next viral video on social media. No one wants to be a part of that. So, you know what I mean? I get the feeling that this is literally a calculated work or calculated move by McDonald's to phase out refills. They don't want to give them anymore. They don't want to act like the villain, so they're going to make up excuses. But, yeah. The thing is, a lot of places, this is where all these fast food places are becoming automated now. They are. Like, you go in and there's a touch screen, and you order from the touch screen. You never talk to anyone. The food just appears on the counter. You pay through the touch screen, and then it just appears. You go get it off the counter, and you never talk to anybody, So anyway, apparently it's already starting. They already said in certain franchises they've already begun the changes, and that there should be franchise-wide changes by 2025. Like, the entire company will not be doing these self-serve soda machines by 2025. They're getting rid of them, okay? Abdullah says, I think this is only the United States. Where I live, they never had them. Well, there you go. Obviously, if they didn't have them where you are, you're never going to get them. But they're saying anywhere where they had self-service, it's all going away now. So there you go. Just another way for them to cut corners. By the way, McDonald's isn't cheap anymore. right? Like, I think the reason people used to go to McDonald's was because the food was cheap. You jump on the dollar menu and for $5, you filled your stomach, right? Or you get a combo meal for like $6, $7. It's a lot of food. McDonald's isn't even cheap anymore, at least around here. It's not cheap anymore. Any combo meal at McDonald's is like $8, $9. Like, it's almost $10. And it's not even that filling anymore either, because of course all these places have reduced the size of their meals. So what is the reason to go there? I'm very curious. When you could go to a local restaurant that for like we have a local place right around the corner that's a Mexican place. For $7, you can get an insanely hugely packed burrito with fresh ingredients and multiple kinds. You can get chicken, pork, steak, carne asada, beef, shrimp. I'm keep going. You can get all these meats plus all these other ingredients. $7. All right? And it's incredibly filling. It's more filling than getting a complete meal at a fast food place. So why the hell would you go to McDonald's? If there's places around you, right, that have better fresh food, why not go there? This is the opportunity for Americans, at least, to say, we've been sold out by these fast food franchises for so long because of their prices. We go there because they're so cheap. It's time to say, since they're not cheap anymore, fuck this. Let's just start actually, supporting the local businesses that are giving us better quality and better prices. But Gatsu just hit it on the head. The claws of addiction and convenience are now easily unhooked. Are they? Because are you aware the reason that people still go to Subway is because they still think in their head $5 footlong. Did you know Subway doesn't have that, right? Like, they haven't had $5 footlong in about a decade. Once a week, they have like a $5 sandwich, just like a basic sandwich, and that's it. But people still remember $5 footlong, and they go there thinking they're going to get a big value, and they don't. They all think Subway eat fresh. Nothing at Subway is fresh. But people fall for these marketing campaigns, and then they just keep going. Subway, in reality, is one of the absolute worst places you can get a sandwich. There are so many competitors for a similar price range who will give you a better product, but people keep going to Subway for some odd reason. Now, actually, this has changed in the last couple of years. Subway profits have tanked, and Subway is finally, after over 15 years of being at the top of the franchise, or the top of the sandwich food chain, they are finally starting to fail. And so they're having to make changes, cut costs, and close shops. Okay? So there you go. But yeah, fast food's tie on America. Maybe it's time to realize this was never the best idea. That always buying from a fucking fast food franchise, at one point it was because of the price. Well, the price ain't the factor anymore. The price is high now. The price of everything has gone up. So if you're going to spend a lot of money, go get it from a good place rather than going to McDonald's, who won't even give you a free refill of soda anymore, right? Like, what will be the incentive to go to McDonald's in a couple of years? I don't even know. Okay. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching DSP News. I hope you enjoyed the segment. I'm sure we'll have more news tomorrow. We always have more news. All right, but ladies and gents, now it is time for shout-outs. All right? So, what's up, Juan Ortega? Juan David Ortega Laverde. It's really hard to say your name. It's very long. Let's do some shout-outs. Let's start today. Tractor D gifted 2 memberships to the channel. And so what I'd like to do is take a quick look. Thank you so much, Tractor D. I would like to see how many members we're currently at to make sure that the stat has been updated properly. Let's look here. We're at 623 members. So congrats to, it looks like, Charles and Chuckles the Hut. Both received memberships today. So thank you very much, Tractor D, for the 2 gifted memberships. Gets us up to 623. Oh, by the way, let me put the news back. We don't want this this news spilling over. Hold on. Okay. Shout out to Taco Man 850, who did a super chat and said, LOL. Well, thank you, Taco Man, for the super chat and for the LOL. I appreciate that. And Adam, thank you for super chat. He says, "Come hell or high water, I will get my refill." Laughing out loud. Again, you say that now, but I guarantee you, when you're inside of a McDonald's full of customers in line already waiting for their food, angry it's taking so long, you're not gonna want to have to fight through that line to demand your refill for soda. You're saying, "Fuck this," you're gonna leave, because that's what happens. You know, you're supposed to get it, you don't get it. You know, that's why self-serve was so prominent, and now with self-serve going away, I'm telling you that it's a calculated move by McDonald's to save money. Okay. Tips today. We start off today with a $5 tip from Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix. So thank you for the first tip of the day, $5. Get that up there. I clicked the wrong thing. Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix. Fuck. HD Remix. There we go. Very nice. He says the following. I got a sad feeling you enjoyed Armored Core, a franchise that you never played before, more than Final Fantasy 16, a franchise you're familiar with. Says a lot about Square Enix odd direction with the franchise. I would argue you are correct. Armored Core was fun all the way through, albeit short, but sweet. Final Fantasy 16 was overly long, incredibly boring, incredibly repetitive, not fun, incredibly disheartening for where the franchise has gone, deflating. Like, I could keep going on. It really is disappointing. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by Armored Core. Only complaints being it was too short and the environments were kind of empty. But outside of that, I love the combat and the builds and everything. It was addictive. And I did not like Final Fantasy 16. Okay. I received a $1.23 tip. Did you hear about this in Starfield? Someone... Yeah, we already know this. This is basically when you're in a starship in Starfield, the enemies target the center of your ship, and if you have a ship with a hole in it, all the bullets go through it. Yeah, we already talked about this like 5 days in a row. It's funny how news travels very slowly. Because people, what they did is they built ships that never would work in real life. Like I told you, they built like a cube. Like think of the Borg cube from Star Trek The Next Generation, but it's hollow. It's just like a frame. So they built a frame, and the frame flies, and no one can hit it because all the bullets go through it. You see? But yes, we're aware of that. Thank you for the $1 tip. And then, I received an $8 tip from Canadian Kirk. Elon Musk's book comes out today. Can you ask the 8-ball if Elon will be successful? Well, first of all, here's what I can tell you. There's enough idiots out there who are in love with this man, obsessed with this man, that no matter what he does, they're going to buy it. If he, again, they're going to buy that Tesla truck that looks like a toy from the 1980s, right? It looks like shit. So, you know they're going to buy it. You know what I mean? Because they're just obsessed with this man for some odd fucking reason. It's like he's a cult leader or something. They're in love with this guy. All right? Listen, he's not God. He's not a genius. He's said and done a million boneheaded things. I don't know why people worship this man. Just because he's rich doesn't mean that he's fucking smart. It just means he fell into money, which he did. He fell into money as a kid. And that's why he's rich. He didn't earn it. He just fucking grew up rich. And now he has all this stuff going for him because he was rich. You know, give someone else that equivalent amount of money, and they probably would be doing the same thing. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's see what the 8-ball says. Okay? How will his book do? Will it do well? It is decidedly so. It is decidedly so his book will do well, just as I said. I knew it. Okay. That's right, the 8-ball. No, I don't think the 8-ball is an Elon Musk stan. I think the 8-ball is a realist. It knows that people are so stupid, they're going to buy everything this man makes. You know? They're not dumb. You know, I told you, he has a cult-like following. He really does. Okay. So, guys, we've got some extra time. If anyone would like to talk about any topics, tag me in the chat. We'll have a little bit of Q&A before we begin with Starfield today. Or if any other contributions come in, I will shout those out as well. Speak of the devil, a tip just came in. I received a $4.20 tip from Grug. Will you do a movie review of the new Spider-Verse movie? I think it's on Disney Plus. I don't have Disney Plus. You know, if there's a lot of reason for me to get a new subscription service, I'll get it. So far, I've heard, well, One Piece is on Netflix, and that's it. Or, oh, Spider-Verse might be on Disney Plus. You know, if coming up, there's a series coming out that I don't have access to, and it's on there, plus there's other stuff to watch, then I would consider getting another subscription. But only if there's multiple things, okay? So, we'll see. Right now, no, I'm not getting Disney Plus just to watch the Spider-Verse movie. No. Okay. Oh, yeah? It's not even on Disney Plus, I'm being told. Sony has the rights to it. So, there you go. How's my neck feeling? Oh, my neck is fine. My neck hurt for 1 week exactly. It was around Tuesday, Wednesday of last week. It started feeling better. So, now here we are a week later. I'm good. No problems at all. Thank goodness. You know, the neck pinch was really bad. It hurt really bad there for about a week, but now it's good. Good. My ruin says Hulu. Well, I don't have Hulu anymore. But he says Hulu and Max have great horror movies to watch for October. Good. I want to watch some horror movies for October. Okay. What streaming services do I have? Amazon Video and Max. That's it right now. How is the throat? It's better. It's not 100%. It's definitely bad. I mean, Sunday was the worst. But yesterday I started to feel better. Today I feel much better. The temperatures have cooled outside. So it could be a factor that there's not a crazy ton of pollen in the air because it's, you know, cloudy and cooler now. You know, we'll see. No, I've never pet a swan. Any chance of using Guile in Street Fighter 6 sometime soon? As I've stated with you guys, all right? I played Street Fighter 6 straight for 3 months. This month, I've cut back a lot to play new releases, and that's going to continue in the coming months. I mean, Mortal Kombat 1 this week, I'm probably not playing Street Fighter 6 at all. Is there a chance that I will eventually play all characters? Yes, for sure. But it ain't going to be soon. You know, right now, I'm focusing on Lily. We've got Aki, the next DLC character, coming out at the end of this month. I don't know what I'll do after that. You know, unless I'm playing Street Fighter 6 in a full-time capacity, it's very hard to pick up new characters, right? It just is. So, you know, I'm in a situation where, you know, I wouldn't be able to just jump in and use a character like that. I'd have to practice and, you know, have time to do it, and I don't have time to do it. So, yeah, that's why when people say, well, you're going to use this new character, this one. No. No. I'm really not. I mean, even look at Luke. I tried Luke, you know, last week, and it didn't go so good. It went all right, but it didn't go so good. Even in casual matches, I didn't really know what I was doing. It's going to take a while to learn this stuff, right? Yes, I've seen the movie Grease. Do I think Sonic Superstars will be better than Mania? I have no idea. Isn't it made by the same people, but with 3D graphics this time? You would think it would be on par, at least. I would hope. Okay. Excuse me. I told you, in high school, one of the musicals they performed was Grease, and I was one of the, I was one of the stage hands, and also I had a very minor role at the beginning of the, or was it Guys and Dolls that I was at the beginning of? Actually, I think it was Guys and Dolls I was at the beginning of. Never mind. I was a stagehand for Grease. I had a minor role in Guys and Dolls. What game will be the next retro playthrough? I have no idea. We're not doing retro anytime soon. We're going to have too many new games to be playing to be doing retro stuff right now. But the good news is, There's plenty of stuff I can do. I even have access to way more now having this mini PC. So, you know, we'll see in the future when things slow down. But for now, I'm focused on new stuff for the next several months. Any chance for future community nights in Street Fighter 6? Yes. Well, again, when things slow down and we have more time for that kind of stuff. You know, I'd like to do Fightcade nights where I play Fightcade, classic fighting games on Fightcade on my new mini PC. But we don't have time to set it up or do it right now. No, I'm not singing. Everyone stop. I'm not singing. Sorry. No, I did not play Danny Zuko. No. I already played Stanley Parable many years ago. Already played the game. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I played it many years ago. I played it when it was a new game, actually. Yeah, back in the day. All right, guys. Any more questions for me? Or should we just end the show early, which I'm okay with? Ugh. What was my first scary movie? You mean outright horror movie? I would say my first outright horror movie was probably like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie in the 80s. I remember like being in the living room and my cousin was watching it. And I was under, my parents told me, don't watch it, it's too scary. So I had like a sheet, so I was under a sheet and I would peek out and watch a scene like, ah, and I'd go back under the sheet. Like I remember that. Because I remember I saw movies that were scary, but usually it was a movie that had scary parts in it. Like you're watching The Neverending Story and then that crazy ass black leopard cougar monster thing is coming, and that was scary as shit. Like I remember being terrified. Or Gremlins. Remember Gremlins? That was a scary movie that I saw as a kid. But outright horror movie, I don't remember, you know, outright what was the first one I saw. Oh, I received a $5 tip from Burnt Zapato. He says, I'm back from my timeout. You were right. They froze my contribution till I gave them a detailed explanation of my payment intentions and an explanation of the reference to the country name I used. Needless to say, it was a pain in the butt. Seriously? So he made a joke. Burnt Zapato tipped me the other day, and in the tip, he referenced the word Iran. And because he did that, they froze his payment and made him put a bunch of information in. Wow. I told you. I'm telling you, these places don't fuck around anymore. They don't even take a joke. They don't. If you put Ayatollah in there, they'd probably come to your house. They come to your house with armed guards. They start searching your basement. You can't be saying that kind of shit, dude. You can't. You gotta be careful. You can't make these jokes anymore. You just can't. And it's funny, like I said, I swear a few years ago, I used to be playing like fighting games and someone would tip as like the name of a country from the Middle East and nothing happened. Now it's like completely different. Everything's changed. You can't be messing around like that, man. Yeesh. Swagonito says, I missed the gambling minigames you did in Red Dead. It would be cool to see you play a poker exclusive game online just for shits and giggles. Yeah, some people had said they would like to see me do blackjack or poker or other things like that online. I remember. But we never really got to it for whatever reason. Some people said board games like Monopoly or something. And I was like, I'd be down for that. I like those games. But we never really talked about it or figured it out. You know, everyone has these ideas, but they never really come to fruition. How's the family today? They are good. Yes, I've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre. How am I doing? I'm doing all right, Phaser. Thank you for asking. It's like I've said, I would consider making merchandise if someone was aware of a company that's not going to basically bend over for my stupid haters. So if I make merch on a site and my haters mass flood the site and say, hey, this guy's a bad guy. Look, here's a clip of something he did 15 years ago. Oh, look, here's something that out of context that he says and WWE champions and man, that the company's not going to be stupid and be like, oh, well, because they said all that, now we have to pull his merch store. I'm not going to waste time. I'm just not going to waste time with it. I'm not going to have merch designs. I'm not going to set the store up myself. I'm not going to tell you guys it's open for business and start to advertise it just to get it shut down for bullshit. So if anyone is aware of a store that doesn't act like that, then I'm all for it. But it seems like a lot of these merch stores, sadly, they're a bunch of these kind of companies that they give into a lot of, I hate to say it, liberal bullshit. And anything they say they believe, oh God, we can't put out any risk of anyone out there ever said something bad, you know. But I just find it funny because obviously there's got to be companies out there, right, that will not just kowtow to nonsense like that. But I don't know who, because I would love to make merch for you guys. But I keep asking and no one seems to know. Like I said, it was about 2.5 months ago, I would say, right at the beginning of the summer, around the beginning of the summertime. I said, let me throw the feelers out. So I actually did some research. I found a company and I contacted them. I sent them a big message. I said, hey, so here's the deal. I'm a content creator for 15 years. I got a fan base that likes to support me. They would absolutely buy merch. They have in the past. I had a successful Teespring store, and it operated for 5 years and all of this. I said, but what happened was, you know, I have a stupid hater base, and they went and I guess they harassed the store, and the store literally closed down my store without any explanation. I have no idea what happened, but here's the kind of stuff, you know, that I would sell. I even sent them some examples. Here's some examples of the logos and things that were very popular back then. You know, would you consider if I open a shop, you know, doing business with me and not just shut the shop down because you're flooded with hater messages? They never responded. Zero response. They just ignored me as if I never sent the message. So obviously I'm not going to do business with them because what they're essentially saying is they don't want to say yes or no. What it is they probably don't want to say no, because if they say no, then they look bad. Then I could say, oh, you see, this company won't do business with me. So they don't want to say no. What they want to do is not say anything. And then if I open the store and it gets shut down, then, oh, they never said anything, right? That's what it is. So that's the thing. I don't want to waste time. Again, if you guys are aware of a company that isn't going to give in and be stupid about it, right? And they're going to be smart, and they're not going to say, oh, it's because I got 100 hater messages from a bunch of fucking idiots, you know, now I'm going to shut down his merch store, then I would do business with them. But the question is, who would it be? Because the thing is, I know a lot of people say, well, you got to go to one of these Republican merch stores. And I'm like, wait a minute. Well, first of all, I'm not Republican. You have to understand that, okay? I'm not rightist. I'm not right-leaning or anything like that, all right? I'm not conservative. And that's not the kind of merch I'm even going to put out. I'm going to put out basic things that have to do with gaming and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with any of that. So I don't want to be branded as a conservative guy because I'm selling merch on a conservative website. You know what I'm saying? But also the question is, who would it be? Who would it be that I would go to and look, because no one's giving me a suggestion. So, you know, there you go. Excuse me. Overpower Boone, you're right. Overpower Boone had an idea that I set up a monthly suggestions thread. We need to do this tomorrow. It's too late now because now the show has to end. Why don't we do this tomorrow? Tomorrow, let's set up a monthly suggestions thread, both on DSPGaming and on DSP Reacts. And what this will be is a thread for all month where you guys can make suggestions for improvement. And one of the suggestions would be a place where I could actually sell merch from. But let's do it tomorrow. Overpower Boom, will you be here tomorrow to remind me? Because this is a great idea, but we were going to do it today, but I forgot because you just brought it up now. It's too late. We got to get out of here. I think that would be a good idea to set up for tomorrow, and then people can start leaving suggestions for improvement. Okay? And that'll be one. Like, do you know anyone who sells merch online? And they probably have like a stupid hater base, right? So, anyway. All right. So, thank you all for watching the Level 1 podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. And, hold on. And I hope that tomorrow I'll have some positive things to say about RPG Day. I talk about what we did in Starfield, talk about Chrono Trigger and all kinds of fun stuff. And I thank you all once again for chilling, watching, supporting. It's awesome of you to come by my show every day. See you tomorrow in the morning, and peace out, everybody.